it's okay to get started on Monday if Monday is today. Because the thing is we're going to have a million Mondays ahead of us. And if we're always waiting for that Monday to get started, we're never going to get anything accomplished. So the whole point is get started and get started now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait until Monday. Today is the day to get started.
What's up, everybody? I'm Dustin.
I'm Mitch.
And this is the Fat Man Podcast.
All right, so I'll let you get started on get us headed off.
Okay. So today's topic is going to be, today's discussion, I should say, is going to be mainly about your first day in the gym. Now, I can guarantee that most people's first day in the gym is going to pretty much be the same. I know mine was a lot like what I've heard from other people. The first time I ever stepped foot in the gym, I was terrified. I'm not going to lie. I felt like I didn't belong there. And that's one of the worst feelings you could have because you want to make a change in your life, but it makes you feel like you don't belong, so you don't want to show up. But that's also the dumbest feeling you could have because nobody there is judging you. One thing you'll learn about the gym community is everybody's there to root for everybody else. You know what I mean? Nobody there is looking at you and thinking anything negative, unless you're going in there screaming like an idiot and ego lifting every time you're in there. Nobody's really going to judge you. When I first walked into that gym, I walked up to the weight room, the free weight room, and I walked right past it. I didn't want to touch it.
You've seen all the big muscly guys.
I looked at all those guys in there, and I'm like, I don't feel like I fit in here. I don't know what to do. I was starting from square one. I had no idea how to work out. And I was like, I was kind of embarrassed, really. And so I just kind of kept walking onto the cardio room, and I was like, all right, I know how to use a freaking treadmill and a bike. I'm good here. And that's where I started. And for the first 2 months of me working out, that's where I was. I cardio room every day. And they had a few machine exercises there to do, but most of it was cardio. And I did that for like 2 months, like I said. And then I finally just one day I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going for it. I'm not going to make progress if I don't just own up to it and go. So I stepped foot in the free weight room, started lifting weights, and realized nobody cared that I was there. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody was even looking at me. All these things I had in my head of people are going to stare at me, people are going to talk about me, people are going to pull their phones out and record me and post me on social media, making fun of me because I don't know what I'm doing. That was all in my head, dude. Nobody cared, And it was kind of a freeing feeling. I liked it. And I rolled with it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep doing this, And after about a week of staying in that free weight room, I fell in love with it wholly, and I realized that room is full of a bunch of people with the same mindset as me. Better yourself and help the one next to you.
See, my first time, I've been to the gym off and on throughout my life. I grew up in a gym, doing gymnastics, so I was in that kind of gym. I did that for 12 years, and then whenever I became an adult, I tried going to the gym throughout the years. But everything in my life was always calisthenics and like that. I always thought how you lose weight is, you do cardio, which is a great way to lose weight. It just fucking sucks.
Yeah, nobody likes cardio.
No, fuck running. If it wasn't for the Army, I'd never run, ever.
All I'm saying is if you see me running, there's something behind me and it's trying to like, that's the only reason.
But going to the gym on my own, it was always like, let's head to the treadmill, let's head to like the workout equipment. But I would always walk up to the weight room, and you feel intimidated, especially because like I feel like this is a common thing as a guy just starting out. Like you see these big muscly dudes, and you're like, they're gonna think I'm a pansy or I'm a wimp because I can't lift that much or whatever. And then I don't know what I'm doing, and if you remember in my early years when you first met, I was really quiet and timid. So the idea of me going up and asking somebody for advice or help was just not going to happen. But I remember, like I said, it's been a year since we've been in the gym together. And that was the first time I ever like seriously started weightlifting. And I did not fall in love with it at first. I don't know if you remember, but
I remember that first couple of days you hated me and you hated going to the gym.
Fuck me. I couldn't take a shower. I was like leaned up against it and just trying to like rub my elbow up against the wall to try to wash my hair whenever I had a little bit of hair
Or those
left.
rub soap on the wall and rub your head against the kind of thing.
Because like I was like, my ego got the best of me.
Oh,
You're substantially stronger than me, and you were then too. And so I was like, I'm a man. I gotta live this way, and so I'm doing my like 90% whenever you were like, you should start off at like 60 or 70% just to get used to it. And so I'm there doing my 90% on all the weights. Oh my gosh, my arms were killing me. But fast forward a year, I mean, you can see the pictures, and we'll put the picture up on the screen from our when we started versus now, and you can
big change.
You can see massive changes and
You've
stuff.
made huge strides, and I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you too. Like we were talking earlier today, you can see it just in your shoulders and your chest and everything like that. And I mean, we've both made so much progress. But the biggest thing is, had we not just taken that first step to go there, like we always say, 90% of the battle is just showing up. And so, I'm just grateful that we took the time to dedicate ourselves to continuing going and making that first step on that first day.
Yeah, me too.
So why is so that subject kind of went by pretty quick on our first day at the gym.
There's a lot. I mean, we could delve deeper into it if you want. So, like, for instance, like you brought up the fact that when you first started the gym, your ego got the best of you, and you had to push heavy weight because you were worried that everybody else would look at you like you're a wuss.
The fact of the matter is, nobody gave a shit what I was doing.
Nobody cared. Even this is like, especially if anybody, me, because I'm your gym partner. I don't give a shit how much weight you can lift. The idea is
you just
go
care
every day.
You just care how
I just care that you are lifting,
that I am lifting, and how much effort I'm putting,
and that you're doing it safely. Because I have said this from day one, and I preach on, I harp on it to everybody that I know. Form over weight.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Form over weight all day long. I don't care if you can bench press or I don't care if you can incline dumbbell press 90s for 20 reps. If your form is wrong, you're not pressing 90s for 20 reps.
Oh yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Like just it was about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Remember we were doing lats and or lat pull downs, and my form was shit on it, and I instantly I felt that twinge in my shoulder. I could have just powered through it and been a gym bro, and hurt myself. But that focusing on that form, that of it long term, it's going to save us. And I know I was talking to Dad today, and he's 65. He's getting ready to have his shoulder completely redone, because not like he used to lift back in the day, and he didn't. He all he cared about is throwing up weight. Between that and the working in trades all his life, not caring how he lifts things, because I mean, how you lift things in the gym is going to translate how you, if you work trades or whatever, it's going to translate on how you properly lift things at home too,
for sure.
And because he didn't, and I think it was a huge part of that generation too. They didn't care about how they did things. They were just, things needed to get done. But I know whenever I'm 65 years old, I don't want to have my shoulders replaced or have 20 back surgeries. I want to be able to get around and do things with my grandkids. And like, hopefully if we keep this up, fast forward till we're 65, we're still able to get around and do the shit that we want to do.
Let's not fast forward too much.
I'm just saying, by the time we get there, I want to be able to still do shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But so why
I feel like it needs to be said too, though, on the topic of what we were just discussing, like a kind of a side note, that you had also brought up that you were trying 90% of your max, and that I had discussed with you do 60. That is a huge key element for first-time gym goers. A lot of people will go into the gym and try to pick up that heavy weight and just go to town with it. And number one, that's how you risk injury.
Yeah.
And it'll put you out of the gym for a long time.
You don't know what you're doing anyways.
And number two, it just looks ridiculous because first-time gym goers don't have perfect form. I don't have perfect form either, but first-time gym goers don't have perfect form. So if you're, slinging that weight around with crap form, people are going to look at you and be like, wait a minute. Now, most people, if they're not complete assholes, will approach you and coach you. But the best bet to do is just like I said, pick up some weights, find out where you feel like you're 60%. When I say 60%, I mean 60% of your max rep. So 60%, for those who don't understand gym lingo, 60% of your max is whatever you can do for one rep. Whatever that weight is, you can only do one repetition. Dial that weight back 60% to your 60%.
So if you can only lift 100 pounds, if that's your max, then lift 60.
Yeah, lift 60 pounds. Right, exactly. So start with that weight.
We're good at math.
Well, as opposed to the last podcast we did. My math was way off.
It was, I was, whenever I was going through and editing that, I listened to that. I was like, he's really fucking off.
Yeah, way the fuck off. Yeah, I don't know where my head was at that day. But
and the thing is it was apparent that like I probably wasn't fully actively listening because I was like, yeah. And then
you agreed.
Yeah, I agreed with you. And you were like, that's
stupid.
wrong.
Okay.
And then I was like, yeah, that is fucking wrong.
You'll have to forgive us. We're both Army. We're stupid.
We are stupid. If we were smart, we would have joined the Air
Force.
Force.
Kind of stupid to join the Army.
We would have joined the Air Force if we were smart.
Coast Guard, not a real branch.
Yeah.
But 60% is your best bet. And I mean, again, to preface, I'm not a personal trainer, not a certified trainer, but it's been through the years of my experience that 60% of your max for about 8 to 10 reps is ideal for starting. That way, you're getting the feel of the weights, you're getting the feel of the range of motion, you're getting the feel of your form, and when you get that down, then you can increase the weight.
Well, the other thing is, especially like after I went to this program called H2F with the Army, and they were talking about, at your 60 to 70% range, 8 to 10 reps.
Right.
That's whenever you're building hypertrophy. Well, a key one of the fundamentals of building muscle or building strength is you have to have the muscle there too. So like it makes it easier and safer for you to be able to eventually be able to put up more weight as you're building that hypertrophy in your muscles and building that mass.
And a huge shout out to those H2F guys because they know their shit.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, we have done their structured workout that they gave us, and I have seen a 20% strength increase in the last 12 weeks.
Oh, absolutely. And we'll have...
We both got a PR in the gym last time we were there.
We've had a PR the past 2 days, just because we did this, and we'll dive in a later episode. We'll dive into the H2F, and it'd be really cool if we could get one of those guys on the podcast sometime to actually maybe dive into the science. But it's called Holistic Health and Fitness. It's a program through the Army National Guard. Active duty has it as well, but it's about a 5-year-old program through the National Guard, and they predominantly work with people that struggle with their PT tests and their weight, but they've worked with people that are going to Ranger School, or we had some guys that went through H2F because remember Johnson, he was on Team USA for the grappling team.
Yeah.
And like there's people
It
like
was a brick shit house.
Oh, motherfucker.
He's like 4 foot tall, but man, he's huge.
Oh man, he's massive.
He's a beast.
But especially for his age, like he's older than you. And
is it weird that we're calling Johnson big?
I know.
Big Johnson.
Big Johnson. But no, I mean the H2F, those guys are awesome, and they've helped. We took our workout to them. I made an appointment, and they helped refine our workout, and it's increased our strength and our performance tenfold just in the past 8 weeks that we've been on their program. So I mean, it's been fucking phenomenal. And I'm excited.
Huge shout out to those guys.
But we'll dive deeper. We'll have a whole episode about H2F sometime. But
what was your first experience like dropping into the gym? Like day one, what was your mindset? What was going through your head?
So the first thing that I was thinking. Backstory, we went on a little bit. He had posted a Facebook post saying that he was looking for a gym partner, and I responded without even thinking. I responded immediately and said, "Oh, I'll do it." And
instantly regretted
that point forward until we got to the gym. I was like, "Fuck! I just I don't know about that. And if you remember, that first time that we went, I said I was only going to go 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Like I was dead
I
set.
talked you into 4.
Yeah, and then within that week, we did. I was like, okay, I'll do 4, but no, it just that first day it was a lot of nerves. I was worried.
Did you ever look at the place or the people there and feel like you didn't belong?
Absolutely. Well, that's been my whole life. You know, like I've always felt that everywhere I go. But
because I just want the viewers to know that everybody, well, probably not everybody, but most everybody goes through that stage.
And like, so here is a photo of what I looked like before and what he looked like before.
Yeah.
And so, take a look at that there, and now
take a moment to just soak in that beauty.
Yeah.
So it in.
There's 55 pounds in total I've lost so far, plus whatever muscle mass I've gained. But so back then, like I felt like I did not belong there. And yeah, it was just something new. And I think for a lot of people, just the new and the unknown, it's a nerve-wracking experience. And because we get used to being in our everyday, you know, we get a routine, we get a, but yeah, my whole entire life, I've never felt like I've belonged in any type of fitness environment. Even in the Army, you know, you would never, ever have mistaken me for, I bet that guy serves. Like that's not a good feeling either, you know? But my way was always up and down. And so, that first day, it was just definitely, I felt that imposter syndrome. Like that's not where I was supposed to be. But, you know, looking back, I'm really grateful that, you know, I took that first step. And, you know, if we wouldn't have made that first step on that first day, we wouldn't be where we are today.
And you want to know a secret, something that I've never told anybody, and not because it's embarrassing, it never came up. A lot of people have the first time jitters when they go to the gym. I had that for 2 years.
Really?
Every time I would show up at the gym, I would get nervous. And I would have butterflies in my stomach. Well, I enjoyed going to the gym. It's not like I was like, oh God, I have to do this again. You know, I enjoyed going. So much so that when things came up and I didn't get to go to the gym, I got upset. I got kind of angry about it, you know, because the gym was my new muse. I fell in love with it, like I said. But even though I loved going and I knew that people weren't judging me, I still got jitters for the first 2 years that I went to the gym.
Now, I have a question for you. So, like, as far as lifting goes, like your background is a lot of powerlifting, and you've had a few first times. And so my question is, what was different about the first time of, like, this past year of us working out together? What was different about this first time versus the others? What's made it different? What's made it more?
I can honestly say this time around is better. Having a gym partner, and not everybody feels the same way, because some people are like of the mindset, I'd rather work out by myself, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm the type of person, I enjoy people's company at the gym, and that's really about the only time I enjoy people's company. But I like having somebody at the gym with me, you know, especially you, because we mesh well. We're good friends. We got the same mentality. We're both kind of ignorant.
You love me.
Yes.
You love me.
You really love this. But the first time I ever went to the gym, you know, started powerlifting and whatnot, it was, like I said, fun. Enjoyed it. I did a lot of research. I learned a lot. And that's one of the things I feel that set me apart from a lot of first-time gym goers. Most first-time gym people will just show up and kind of figure it out as they go, or ask people for help. I'm the kind of person, if I don't know, I'm going to figure it out through research. And I listened to hundreds of audiobooks, watched countless podcasts, hours upon hours upon hours of YouTube videos, doing or reading articles online, doing as much research as I possibly could on how to do exercises properly, how my nutrition should be based off my body type, my desired results, blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff. And I probably did more research than a college student. It was ridiculous. Now I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not I don't know everything. But all that research got me to where I am today, that people, and again, I'm a modest guy. I don't like to brag or anything, but people do come to me for advice, at the gym. You were there.
Whenever that lady came up, was like,
you were there
that lady?
Yeah, this lady came up to me and asked me if I did personal training. And I was like, no, I don't. Because I'm not a personal trainer, so I don't want to train somebody. I want to be a personal trainer. I want to get certified and help people. But if I'm not licensed or certified to be a personal trainer, I don't feel comfortable doing it, because if something were to go wrong, I'm liable. You know what I mean? So
now, I will say so I think that there's a happy medium on. So whenever I was learning video, and I think that this rule applies. Whenever I first got into video, I researched everything. I was trying to learn everything that I possibly could, YouTube videos, articles online, everything. And I came across one guy. He was like, don't just watch YouTube videos. Like, if you could spend 2 years researching and doing everything, but if you're not putting it into practice, then you're putting yourself behind. I think that there's a happy medium of doing your research and doing your due diligence to make sure that you're doing the right things,
implement it.
by implementing it along the way. And so, like, I know that there's a lot of online researchers that they'll spend 3 years trying to gain all the knowledge before they get started. Whenever by the time they get started, they're 3 years behind.
You just learn as you go. I mean, that's what I did. I would be at work, and on all of my free time, I would binge watch YouTube videos or read articles about the science behind lifting, or proper movements, proper techniques, stuff like that. And then that following evening, when I went to the gym, I would implement those things. See, does this work? Is this legitimate?
Well, I don't know how many times that I've gotten videos, you were like, hey, check this out, or check out this article, or whatever, throughout the year, that you're like, hey, let's try this. Or
I still do that to this day.
Yeah, a lot of it is just experimenting and seeing, I actually, that minor movement change that we're like,
something you don't really think about until it's brought up, and you're like, that seems like common sense.
Like when we were doing a lot of, which we haven't done this for a little bit, but we're doing a lot of lat pull downs, and you're like, well, I've seen somebody, they were doing single lat pull downs, and you wanted to see, well, let's try that out of the gym. And we actually got a lot more activation out of doing it single arm, which seems silly. Like, why didn't you think of that? But there's so many variations to all these different exercises that may target your muscle. You might get more,
well, the smallest of nuances can make the biggest difference in any kind of exercise. Just like doing bench press. You see guys with their arms flared out to the sides when they're doing bench press, and number one, that's risk for injury. Huge. You don't tear that muscle here. But I learned, because I started off like that. I didn't know what I was doing. Started a bench like that, and then when I did the research and I learned the proper techniques on how to do bench press, I realized all you gotta do is pull your elbows in, and that's a small movement, but it makes a world of difference on your strength.
Well, so I knew nothing going to the gym, so like everything that I've learned has been predominantly from just working out with you. And it was 2 or 3 months ago we were benching, and Nathan came over. Nathan's a guy at the gym that he's been there for 30 years,
since 1980.
Yeah, big son
He's
of a bitch.
big dude.
But he was watching us and how we were benching. We always did suicide grips, and he was like, "Hey man, how about you try, like, make sure you do a full grip and try to break that bar while you're doing it, so it helps engage your lats more." And just going from suicide grips to a full grip, so I can try to break that bar, I've been able to make a lot of progress just from that small movement that I didn't know.
I still do suicide grip up to 225. Once I crest over 225, then I wrap my thumbs because
You don't want to lose it.
Yeah, I don't. It scares me. I don't want to press 315, 325, whatever, with a suicide grip. I've seen too many people have accidents like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's I don't want to be that guy.
And talking about accidents, like being new, one of the biggest risks just starting out is that you have a potential of getting hurt if you're not practicing in safe form. So like we were talking is don't overlift, don't lift more than what you should. Start out light, get the form overweight 100% of the time, and just ease your way into it. If you've never lifted before, start out maybe do a light lift twice a week or something like that. So just easing yourself in it, and after a month, maybe add another day, and you can do other exercises. But the number one thing I suggest if you're lifting is, at least if you're like me, lifting with a partner. It's safer, and two, it's a lot more enjoyable and helps keep you accountable. But the biggest thing on going to the gym is just getting started. Make that first day today. And the other thing is, if you fuck up, we all fuck up, especially at the beginning, especially if you don't have somebody to hold you accountable. You're going to have days where you fuck up.
90% of people are going to start the gym, and the statistics show that most people go to the gym for 3 months and then quit. And that's, I don't want to say acceptable because it's not, but it's perfectly normal in a sense. So if you catch yourself doing that, it's okay, as long as you realize you're doing it and you pick your ass back up and go again. You know what I mean?
And the biggest thing is, the gym when we say the gym, we're not necessarily talking about going to
Just
the gym. We're talking
out.
about getting active, doing something. Maybe lifting isn't your thing. Maybe it's, going out and running or walking on the Stairmaster or doing something. Maybe it's yoga. It doesn't matter what it is. Our thing is we like to lift. For us, especially because I fucking hate running. I think that whoever invented running was a sadist, but I really do. I hate it. But
I used to run avidly.
Because the army.
No, after
after
my divorce. I did it for almost 6 months.
I'm not here to judge your life choices.
Yeah,
but
every other day. I fell in love with it, and then I got fat again.
Not me.
After I got married a second time, and I quit running.
I've always hated it. It was terrible. But
now I hate it.
Some people they love running. Some people love lifting. For us, it's lifting. But the biggest thing is just getting out there and doing something, whatever that looks like. In doing it, whenever I went to the H2F class, they said 2 days of 30 to 45 minutes of workout, you will see that that's enough that. And that's moderate working out. So 2 days of moderate working out, whatever that looks like, as long as it helps raise your heart rate and get the blood flowing, you can see positive results from it. So you don't have to spend 30 hours a week in the gym. You could spend, like we're talking, hour and a half a week. That's enough. That's enough to get started. And if that's all you do, well, like Nathan, he works out 2 days a week, just to maintain. So
if you're sedentary all the time, the slightest change in motion is going to make a huge difference in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, like you were saying, 2 days a week. If you're completely sedentary, meaning you don't go to the gym, you don't work out, you don't run, you don't do anything really in terms of exercise,
go to bed.
If you start exercising 30 minutes a day, 2 days a week, you're going to see a big difference in a couple of months' time. You're going to feel a difference in a couple of weeks' time. Guaranteed.
The number one thing I would say, and I imagine that you'll agree with me, is you got to find what works for you and what's sustainable. Because like I always say, you can have the best diet, you can have the best workout plan in the world, but if it's not sustainable for you personally, then it ain't worth a damn. So and my last point is I think that there's a huge difference between trying to lose weight and trying to be healthy. And you can do both, but they're two different
Being healthy doesn't always mean losing weight.
Yeah. And losing weight doesn't always mean being healthy. Sometimes if you're 400 pounds, losing that weight is probably your first priority, and then after you get to a sustainable weight or a good healthy weight, then you can start focusing on not just how you lose weight, but what you put in your body too.
But if you're a middle-aged man and you're 110 pounds, losing weight's not going to be healthy.
No.
Straight up.
Yeah, but one thing that gets me is, so I'll be the first one to admit it. I take artificial sweeteners, and everybody's like, that's terrible for you. That's going to kill you. Well, I think that being obese for the next 15 years is more detrimental to my health. I was going to
say, you know what else will kill you?
Being fat.
Having a resting heart rate of 120 because you're overweight.
Yeah.
That'll kill you faster.
So, I mean, that's the one thing. I think that you have to choose your battles whenever it comes to this. And I'm not saying not to be healthy, but find what works for you. If drinking that Diet Coke helps, which they have studies that has proven that drinking diet sodas or artificial sweeteners, it can help with weight loss. I'm not saying that it's healthy. It's probably not your best choice. Your best choice is drinking a nice bottle of water or whatever.
If you crave pop, they got, again, it's got artificial sweeteners in it, but here and there it's okay. They have the flavored sparkling waters. I mean, when I initially started cutting down drinking pop, that's what I did.
Yeah, but
soda, whatever you want to call it. I drank those sparkling waters, the flavored ones, the carbonated ones, and it didn't. I mean, they don't have anything that tastes like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, but they have flavored ones, and it gave me the same feeling as drinking.
Did you know that Celsius has one that's Coke flavored?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. But I'll be the first one to admit, I fucking drink Diet Coke, which I hated Diet Coke for a long time.
I've been drinking Diet Coke since I was a junior. Well, since high school.
I'm used to it now, you know. I like a Mickey D's ice cold Diet Coke. Something about it is so good.
Dude, I swear they put crack in everything that they sell.
I drink Diet Coke. I drink, you know, my weakness. You know the
Ghost.
Thing. Yeah, so I drink Ghost all the time. Ghost, if you're watching.
Not a plug, but Ghost Energy is by far the best tasting energy drink I've ever had.
If you want to sponsor this podcast, we won't say no. And like, we'll just take energy drinks, just to let you know. But
product placement.
Yep.
Just saying.
But no, I have at least one Ghost a day, and
I have at least two every day.
I said,
don't lie to yourself.
I say I at least have one. Although on Saturday I didn't have any, but
my wife doesn't see this because she'll complain.
But it's honestly like
she was always on me about drinking energy drinks because she's a nurse.
Well, the thing is I feel like it's helped me because I
it's either that or meth. Come on.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna let you know, if you cut me open and drain me, there's probably caffeine running almost 100% through my body. It's just enough to sustain me. But my biggest point is, like, do what works for you. And will I eventually cut down on the caffeine? I would like to think so. We'll see.
When I did carnivore, when I did the carnivore diet, I did not even touch energy drinks. I drank nothing but black coffee and water. And, well, like, not to go off on a tangent about that subject again, but my energy levels were good. But once I stopped carnivore diet because of my hernia, and long story behind that, but I got back on the energy drink kick and still on it.
You're the reason why I got on Ghost.
I'm sorry.
Like, for when we
I'm sorry, but I'm not.
When we did,
welcome.
We shot
to the Brotherhood.
We shot a movie in February, Drowning in Echoes, and one of our sponsors, the House of Spirits here in Brazil, they donated some drinks to us, and
4 cases of Ghost.
And that was my first time ever tasting Ghost, and I've been hooked. Like, it's addictive. It was.
I was talking it up when they gave them to us. I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
It's like, this is my favorite drink.
They were like, we can get you Ghost, and I only got Ghost because I was like, oh, Carpenter had said that he liked that, so we'll grab that, and then I tried one.
Shit's
I was
amazing.
Like, whoa. Like, my eyes dilated. I was like.
And that new flavor they have, Welch's. Oh God,
man,
dude, have it in your mouth.
If you can't tell, we like that energy drink.
I'm just
this whole podcast.
I'm a connoisseur of food and beverage. That's all it is. I am a fat kid at heart. Always will be.
Oh, so we've talked enough about drinking, or not drinking, energy drinks, beverages of some sort. The other part of starting out and making that first step is you know, it's about what you put in your body too, you know. So like they say that you can't work off
A bad diet.
or
60% diet. And if we're going by previous math, 60% diet, 30% gym.
and like
But,
before.
but in all seriousness, though, it's 60% diet, 40% what you do in the gym. Honestly, I mean, you can work out all day long. If you eat like shit,
they broke
you're
it
not
down.
gonna make progress.
They broke it down at that class, and it was only like 5% of like your weight
Mhm.
is contributed, but from what you work off at the gym.
Yeah.
Only 5%. Most of it is your diet. And just to let you know, like throughout this past year of us being in the gym, I've lost the 55 pounds, not exclusively because I went to the gym. It's a large part because I do the 80-20 rule, and so 80% of the time I try to eat what I need to eat, and then the other 20% of the time I go ham.
I don't count all my macros. I'm a lazy gym goer in the sense that I eat healthy. You know, I eat what I'm supposed to. And like I said on the last podcast, I still have my vices. I'll still have Burger King from time to time. But 80% of the time, 90%, I should say actually 90% of the time, I eat what I'm supposed to. And I do count my calories because my BMR, my calorie intake for the way that I am, as active as I am, my goal is, I think, 3,200 calories a day.
See, if you seen what I've lost weight on, you would shake your head and be like, there's no way you lost weight. Because I'll be honest, I lost weight eating McDonald's every single day for the past.
Because you shit your brains out. That's what, it's like Slim Fast.
Because I do heating and cooling as well, and so we're on the road all the time. So fast food, it's a large part. And I'll be honest, everybody's like, why don't
You're
you
going to
meal?
be like the poster child, like Jared from Subway. Just don't
Why
touch
don't
kids.
you meal prep? Well, because I'm not responsible enough to do that. I don't. It's not me. And but no, I've eaten pizza, I've eaten burgers, I've eaten tacos. I found the food that I actually like really love in real life outside of dieting, and I just found a way to incorporate that into to make it work with my diet. Even going to McDonald's, I still have a burger, but like a large part of what I've done has been I don't want to say keto, lower carb. I would say, because I don't even count anything. I go to McDonald's. If I order a burger, I just swap out their buns. Don't get ketchup on it. The other stuff is fine. It's all low carb, and then I just put it on some low carb buns. And that seems so simple, but for me, if it's simple, I'll do it. If I have to put too much time into it, I won't do it. And I'm not advocating that that's the best way, but it works for me.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like I need to touch on that point for some of the viewers. That doesn't mean that just because it worked for him, it's going to work for you. That doesn't mean you can go out and eat McDonald's every fucking day and you're going to lose weight as long as you go to the gym.
I also didn't gorge myself either.
Good things, and when I say good things, I mean bad things, like McDonald's. Good tasting, bad for you. Good things in moderation is key. It doesn't mean you have to completely cut out all the good stuff that you like and just eat chicken and rice and broccoli every fucking day. That's not the case. You can still have a burger once in a while. You can still have pizza. You can still have ice cream, but moderation is key. Count your calories. Know what you're consuming. Know how much or how many calories rather you're consuming, and limit the intake of the shit calories, because there's a huge difference
between good calories and bad
between
calories.
good calories and bad calories. If you look at how much 500 calories of ice cream is versus 500 calories of chicken, there's a vast difference. You're going to have a whole fucking lot more chicken. So, not saying you have to have chicken all the time, but just as a little comparison there. Big difference. And it leads. I saw a thing on Facebook the other day. It was promoting creatine supplement, which you and I take. But they were saying, they showed the little scoop and they said, this is 5 grams of creatine. And they said, you can take the supplement or you can get 5 grams of creatine naturally. And then they showed how much food it would take to get 5 grams of creatine naturally. It was a stupid amount of food. I mean, they were using, I think it was 3 plates of chicken, some green beans, and some other stuff. And then there was, I'd say, 2 gallons of milk.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
It was so much. I mean, in a day's time, okay. But who wants to sit down and do all that daily? You know what I mean? And the same holds true with calories. You know, you could have a nice 700 calorie meal, or, you know, it could be crap food. You could have just a little bit, and you're like, oh, okay, well, it's 700 calories, I'm good. Or you could have the healthier option and incorporate healthier foods. You can still have the crap foods in there with it, but incorporate some healthier foods and still keep that calorie range and get a lot more food and feel full.
Still, like I said, the 80-20 rule.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you fill 80% of your diet up with the good stuff. If you fuck up for 20, if you have that muffin or that cupcake or that donut or whatever for that 20%, you're going to be okay. Because at the end of the day, it's calories in versus calories out,
Right.
you know? And for me, like I said, I'm not advocating that my way was perfect, but it worked for me. And especially with the lifestyle that I have a very busy lifestyle. You can ask Carpenter, I'm on the go more than most people, I would say. And I work very long hours. And so it's a lot of times it's just grabbing food whenever I can. And so I had to figure out, okay, how can I still do these things, but try to make it a little bit better? How can I tweak these things? And like I said, I still do fast food, but I'm not out there eating. Whenever I do eat fast food, it's just enough to tide me over. And then whenever I get home for dinner, I'll have something more substantial that's better quality food, and it's a little healthier. And but yeah, I found what works for me, and that's the biggest thing, is find what works for you. And if you want me to break down like my weekly diet, I have no problem doing that on how I've lost weight. And if you
I'd be more than happy to do the same.
Yeah.
I mean, him and I are and on this subject of what works for one doesn't work for everybody. Him and I have two completely separate diets.
Oh yeah,
Now,
because we have two separate goals too.
Exactly, and we're two different people. You know, even if we had the same goal, we still wouldn't have the same diet. 'Cause we're
Exactly.
two different people. I meal prep every week. And it's always 90% of the time it's chicken, some veggies and some rice. And I know I just said I'll eat chicken and rice every day, but that's what I like. I enjoy eating it. It's not one of those things that's grueling to me, like, oh, fuck, more chicken and rice.
Are you somebody that can
I like
eat
it.
the same thing every day?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I do.
Really?
And I'm a creature of habit. So when things are the same every day, I thrive on that. So especially my food, because I know what's coming. I know the calories.
It makes it easier.
I know all the macros of
Yeah.
what I'm eating. I said I don't count macros, but I know the macros of my meal preps.
because you figured it out at one
because
point.
I don't have to count calories every day or to count macros every day. I'm like, fuck that. If I meal prep the same meal all the time, I know what I'm eating, and it tastes good. The only thing I do differently is throw spices in there, different spices. That way it tastes different, but it's still the same shit every day. I love it. So, but I feel like we need to stress the fact that on the topic of first-time gym goers, first-time fitness, anything, you're going to fuck up. You're going to fall short of your goal. You only fail when you stop trying. So there were many times in the past when I was set out for my goal and I would miss the mark, you know.
Just even in this year's time,
I would stop going to the gym for a few days, weeks, whatever. Or I was like, okay, I'm going to hit this diet hard. I'm going to do this, you know, by the book. And then I would fall off the wagon, and I'd be going good for like 2 months. And then I would have a weekend of just eating crap foods. And I'm like, okay, well, I just ruined my entire diet, you know. Or I would have even one piss poor meal in one day, you know. So don't get it stuck in your head that, okay, I fucked up, I'll start over again tomorrow. No, start again at the next meal, you know. If you screw up, if you're doing good, you had a healthy breakfast, and then lunchtime rolls around and you eat fucking McDonald's, don't kick yourself in the ass and be like, oh, I just screwed up the whole day. Now I gotta start over tomorrow. No, start over with the next meal you eat.
Or back on there's always a million Mondays.
Yeah, there's always a million. Everybody's gonna have Mondays.
And the thing is like, I don't know how many times in my weight loss journey that I was like, fuck, I guess I messed up this meal. I'm going to start again on Monday, but it's Tuesday. And so I give myself permission to eat like shit for the rest of the week. Or would it be better if, okay, I fucked up on that one meal. Even if you're doing like people on keto, they're trying to stay in ketosis, and then you mess up on that one meal, and then that brings you out of ketosis. Start on the next meal.
Try again.
Yeah, like if you mess up breakfast, start again on lunch. If you mess up on lunch, start again on dinner. If you mess up on dinner, start again on breakfast. I mean, and on top of that, like I used to think that if you were trying to lose weight, that means you had to starve. I eat like 5 times a day. I never feel hungry, and I've still been able to, for the past going on a year and a half now, I've not only lost the weight, I've been able to maintain that. We have days that we work out really hard. We have other days where we don't work out super hard, which is just more maintenance.
Some days, and I don't want to say advanced because that's the wrong term, but even at our experience level, we still have off days.
Yesterday was
if you
an off
always
day.
look for motivation to go to the gym, you're never going to go. And I feel like I've said that before, but we have days where we go and we're just like, man, we're not really feeling it, but we're still there. We're still going to work. It's just not as hard as every other day.
Because what's the number one rule?
Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch. Don't
just
bitch.
show the fuck up, man. Show up to the gym. I can't stress that enough. Like, I don't want to sound like an ass, but get the fuck up and just go to the gym, dude. I mean, I can't stress it enough. Once you're there at the gym, your mindset's going to change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you are the company you keep.
Nobody's going to walk into the gym and be like, I don't feel it. Just turn around and walk back out. I mean, you're already there. You know what I mean? Just do something.
Yeah.
Walk up the stairs. Go to the treadmill. Do 5 minutes on the treadmill. Doesn't matter.
And if you can't make it to the gym, go outside and walk.
Yeah. Walk around your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Walk around your car. Walk around your cat in the living room. Doesn't matter.
And if it's winter outside and
Work.
raining outside and you can't go outside, then get down on your living room floor. You can
do some jumping jacks in your garage.
Yeah, or
side straddle hops
do
if
some
you're in the
push-ups.
Army.
If you can't do a push-up, do what quote unquote girl push-ups. If you can't do that, like find something. There is something
Sit-ups.
that everybody can do.
If you're 500 pounds and you can't do sit-ups or you can't do jumping jacks, or you can't do push-ups, do arm circles. Get up off the chair and sit back down. Do that repeatedly. Stand up, sit down, stand up. Any kind of movement is work. It's going to be better than sitting there doing nothing.
And it's just taking that first step.
Yeah.
And getting started. And
knowing where to start's the biggest hurdle for everybody. And I feel like it needs to be said again that, how do I word this? There's no perfect place to start. There's no perfect time to start. Just start. And
the perfect time to start
kind of
is right
sounds
now.
stupid because a lot of people are like, well, I don't know where to start. Well, you start by standing up first off. If you're sitting on the couch, or if you're sitting in your recliner at home watching this podcast, the first step is to get off your ass. And then once you're up on your feet, then do some kind of movement. It doesn't matter if you're overweight or if you're just out of shape or if you just want to be in better shape. Movement is better than stagnant.
And so my challenge to all of you guys at home today is stop what you're doing right now. Stop everything you're doing. If you're driving, whenever you get to wherever you're going, get up and walk around. Do something. Get your blood pumping a little bit. Get down and do some push-ups. Do some sit-ups. Do a jumping jack. Yeah, but the biggest thing is start right now. Don't wait till tomorrow. So if you're waiting for a sign to get going,
this is your sign.
This is your sign. And because
set a goal.
The thing is if
set small goals. That's a huge key element for people who are new to it. Set small goals. Don't set huge goals and be like, all right, I want to lose 150 pounds.
Yeah, small wins turn into big wins.
A bunch of small goals make a big goal. So start small. Say, okay, I want to lose 5 pounds. And give yourself like 3 or 4 months to do that. Because it probably not going to take you that long, but if you give yourself that amount of time and you hit that goal before those 4 or 5 months are up, you're going to feel that much better. Progress is progress. 1 pound of weight down if you're looking to lose weight, 1 pound of weight up if you're looking to gain weight. It's progress. Doesn't matter.
We believe in you. If we're just some Joe Schmoes that, I'm just a nobody. You're nobody. No offense, but we're just two guys from Brazil, Indiana, and if we can do it, then literally anybody can. And so just get out and do something. And yeah, I think just do something. I believe in you. But this
Very well.
yeah. But
Words of a scholar.
I may not be well spoken, but I'm well meaning. But
Comes from the heart.
I
all that
try
matters.
at least. But no, thank you guys for tuning in. This was the Fat Man Podcast. We've enjoyed chatting with you guys and chatting together. And
We're on all social media platforms. Go check us out at the Fat Man Podcast.
Yep, and we'll be on all streaming platforms as well.
Feel free to hit us up on any of the platforms. Give us a message if you're one of those people that are in our position in the past and you want to, you've bettered yourself and you want to be part of the podcast. You want to share your story. Let us know.
Because the biggest
We'd love
thing
to hear
is
from you.
we're not just a podcast. We're wanting to build a community of like-minded people, and we're just two middle-aged guys that are dads that are trying to do better for ourselves, both physically and just all aspects of life. And we just decided to make that start. And so if you want to be a part of the community, please reach out to us, and we would love to have you guys on the show. We're always looking for some positive success stories, or if you're in the fitness or health or in wellness area, then please reach out to us. We would love to highlight what you do and highlight the knowledge that you have to offer.
If you got questions too, if you got any questions for us, doesn't matter what kind of question. Nothing's private for us, or at least for me. If you got questions, shoot them my way. I'll answer them. I don't care. Well, if you don't want to be on camera or audio, just send us a message and we'll read the questions on the podcast and we'll answer them. Doesn't matter. I don't care.
And the other thing is on that is, so we learned something in the military that, like, you can ask us anything, and if we don't know the answer, one thing that we promise is we will find the answer and we'll get that answer to you. And but at the end of the day, we're just here to try to help other people that have been where we were, and we're still on our journey today, and we just want to make a positive difference. So we appreciate you coming along on the journey with us and being a part of this with us.
I know we've talked a lot about ourselves, but this podcast, this whole idea behind this podcast isn't about us. It's about you guys, the viewers. So we want you guys to understand where we were, where we're headed in our life, so you know you're not alone. So if you feel like you fit the mold, let us know. We'd love to hear your stories. We keep harping on that, but that's what this is about. We are reaching out to those people who don't know what to do and don't know where to start, and that's what this podcast is for. This is the framework for you.
And the thing is we live in a world filled with so much negativity on the internet, and we're just hoping to offer a sounding board that speaks to some positive notes that help motivate and inspire and offer some avenues to showcase the people that really matter. And so yeah, please feel free to reach out, and thank you for listening. I'm Mitch.
And I'm Dustin.
And this is the Fat Man Podcast.
Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch.